Welcome everyone to Clayton's Classroom. This is a Doc of Detox show event. I'm Dr. Wolfe, and I'm with my co-host, the amazing Clayton Nolte, the inventor of our structured water units. He is here live and in person to give you the truth about water. The water you drink, the water you bathe in, the water that's used to grow your food, okay? All of this is so important that most people do not realize the concept of structured water and how it is a God-given product and how our ancestors only drank structured water. And now we have left nature alone. We are denatured and we are now man-made. And we already know what happens when you do something that's man-made. We know that it's already broken. So today's show is called Why Expensive Filtration Systems Are Unnecessary. Okay? But before I start, and before I bring on my honored guest, what I'd like to say here is this. What if there was a small elite group, okay, that had more money than some of the countries in the world, and they believed that the world was getting too crowded, and they believed that they had the God-given right to tell us that there's too many people, but they didn't want to come out in the open, all right, and let everyone know that they were going to decrease the population. Well, how would we do it? Well, we could probably poison the water. No, nobody could ever get away with that. Yes, they have. They're getting away with it right now, and everybody's putting up with it. Because we don't have enough love in our hearts and enough respect and honor for ourselves, we'll drink about anything. Look at people when they go to Costco. They'll put those bottled water, all those plastic bottles, those flexible plastic that have BPA or BSA in them that are totally poisoning. People will go all the way to Costco, put this thing in the cart and break their bloody back and haul this thing home. Just think about it. Just think about how you can be so bloody manipulated that you'll spend money for this garbage water and you'll haul it home and then open up this plastic bottle that's more carcinogenic than the water inside of it, but the two together create the atomic bomb. You know what? If we were to tell somebody on another planet that they actually have devised a plan to get the population to either drink tap water that isn't structured, or to drink distilled water that has no life in it, or reverse osmosis water that has no life in it, or carbon filters, which then we get addicted to the carbon. I mean, who would believe this? I mean, who would believe that we could get people to spend money on foods that are GMO and have toxic chemicals and dyes and additives and preservatives and other products with antibiotics in them and steroids and hormones, and actually get people to eat meat where the animals are diseased and they just cut the tumors out and they allow you to eat this? Understand something. Whether you want to believe this or not, you're being schooled and fooled, because guess what? If you've got sickness in your family, then you got a sick mind, which is sick beliefs. You know what? Here's the deal. I don't have sickness. I'm not going to have sickness. Do you understand that? And when I say that, I don't feel any fear at all. Some people go, well, I'll never get cancer. And then inside their mind, they go, oh my God, I shouldn't have said that. You know, knock on wood. Well, I don't have to knock on wood. And I don't have to do the rosary, and I don't have to pray to stay well, because I know that if I take personal action and I wake up and I understand something, and what is that? What do I need to understand? You can't trust any corporation. You cannot trust the government. You cannot trust any type of system. You have to return to nature. Okay? Man has been taught to chase the dollar so badly. I mean, come on. Take a look at these structured water units here, okay? All right, so $400, okay? And you might say, well, $400, yeah, well, how much money are you going to spend for the rest of your life? All right, I'm telling you to spend for this 1 year, okay? I'm telling you to spend $1.04 or something, or $1.05 a day to have the best water that you could ever drink. You heard what I said. And you can also put your liquids through anything you drink. You can spray it on your foods to protect your foods. You can spray it in your eyes. You can spray it on your body to bring down pain. But you know what? You can't relate to that, right? because it's got to cost a lot and there's got to be a lot of work. You either got to carry all that water home, or you got to change the filters every few weeks, or or the thing's going to burn out and then you got to buy a new unit. But it just can't be easy. It just can't be natural. Anyways, I'd like to introduce my esteemed host today, Clayton Nolte. How you doing, Clayton?
Wonderful. Wonderful.
So what do you think? What do you think about what I just said? My ranting and raving like some kind of psycho guy. What do you think?
Well, it's all true. So, this is something that what you're saying is what most people would not step up and say. So,
Well, you know why I'm going to step up and say it? I'm going to say it because guess what? I know who created me, and I know that every day I need to question who I am, okay? And I need to question myself and know that I can always be better, I can be stronger. And you know what? And everybody on this planet is my family. Everybody on this planet is my family. And you know what? I'm going to protect my family. And I'm going to talk about my family. And there is no greater honor than to serve your family. You know what? I've got past the point of getting gifts. If I get them, it's nice. But the thing is guess what? Giving is where it's at. Giving, making a difference is where it's at. And that's what Clayton has done. Clayton has given his life. And you know what? When I first met Clayton, I got to tell you, I've told this story before. I just thought he was just crazy, whacked out guy. Because you know what? I come from a science background and I come from an academic background. And to tell me that this thing was going to outdo all the great scientific pieces of filtration equipment, ozone, distilled water, electron units, and even those Kangen machines, geez, they're $3,500 US, even more, up to $5,000. And I'll tell you something, we'll come up against that any day. And people are saying, oh, he's a bit of a troublemaker, talking like that. Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. If we're not challenging people, and if we're not holding people to their word and to honor and to integrity and dignity, then this is where we get into this mess. We get into this mess that you believe the story. Everybody's got a sales pitch. I have a sales pitch. I don't expect you to believe it. I need to earn your trust. That's why we have a show that you can call in and you can call BS sterile. And guess what? That means dysfunctional belief systems in my head and set me straight. But I'll tell you right now, if we don't speak up, okay, then there's not going to be anything left of us, because there is an elite group, okay, that have decided there's too many people on the planet. And guess what? When you think that you're a god, okay, and you want to play God and you're just man, then guess what? Mankind does not become kind. And look at it. Look at how many people get talked into going to wars. Look at how many people get talked into vaccinations, taking antibiotics that destroy their immune system. How many people will go to surgery before they'll just look at their life and say, look, if I just bring down the inflammation, I wouldn't have the scar tissue formation. If I didn't have that, I wouldn't need surgery. And then how many people realize that when you have surgery, when you cut into a person with a knife, that creates the worst scar tissue in your life. And guess what? It wasn't the surgery that killed you, but it would be the scar tissue that wraps around everything. And if you don't do things like drinking lots of structured water, you don't bring the fire down, then you're going to have inflammation, scar tissue formation, fibroid tumors, calcification, calcium deposits. Because guess what? Calcium deposits, whether in your gallbladder or in your kidneys or in your breast, they're a pre-cancer situation because that calcium has been pulled from their bones. So understand something. Today's topic is about why should we spend all this money on expensive filtration? Well, there's no you can, but I think you should first do your research. And there's nothing wrong if you want filtered water first. But as Clayton Nolte might tell you, you can filter it all you want. But guess what? You're only dealing with the physical. And listen, whether you're talking about water or you're talking about you are more a light energy frequency being. Like 99% of you is that, and that's scientifically proven. The only 1% is this physical body you're looking at right now. The same thing with the water. Go ahead and filter it. But that's only 1% of the story. The other 99% is the light, energy, frequency, communication that is carried throughout that water. And it is either going to be a high vibrational healing message, or it's going to be a lower vibrational healing message that will what? Create issues in your tissues. What do you think, Clayton?
You're right on. Right on. Basically, the truth of water is, or let's say all the food you eat, everything you eat and everything you drink goes out your elimination system. So what feeds your cells? What gives you energy? Exactly that. The energy of the food you eat and drink goes into your cells and feeds you and gives you the energy to wash windows or do all the things we do. It's all about energy.
And guess what, everybody? Structured water is the only water that has the ability to get down to the mitochondria. Structured water has the lowest surface tension so that it is a surfactant that can go in there and get rid of the calcium and other minerals that are actually hardening up or blocking your mitochondria from creating the ATP that creates the energy. So if you want to have energy in your life, wouldn't you want to drink the water that has the most energy and that can carry in nutrition more efficiently than any other water and carry toxins out more efficiently than any other water? And when you structure water, you erase the memory, okay, of everybody, everything that ever drank it, ever touched it. And you want to do that because you want to put your own imprint on it. And hopefully when you do put your imprint on the water and you go to drink the water, you will bless the water. And understand something. That's why you go, when you are emotional or you're stressed out and you go, I need to go have a shower. I need to go have a bath. Well, you know what? You think it's the hot water, but it's not the hot water. If you structure water, it's going to go in and restructure all the frequencies in you. The difference between taking a shower that is structured and one that's not structured is a structured shower is going to restructure, harmonize you, bring coherence back into your body. Understand something. Nature is so powerful. You can create all the man-made machines you want. And guess what? You'll have to be hooked up to them 24/7 if you don't embrace nature. Clayton?
Absolutely. Right on. You're giving the truth.
Yeah.
And hopefully people will listen and open their hearts and their minds to something that is truly there for them. When you talk about what my mission is to aid humanity to survive, and structured water is that element that will bring about the ability for humanity to survive.
And if I can say something, there it is right there, people. I hope you just heard what he said. Did you hear what he said? His mission. Do you hear it in his voice? Does it sound like he's giving you a bunch of BS, dysfunctional belief systems, where he's just trying to sell you something or pretend to be something? No, he's real. He's the authentic self of compassion. And that's the deal right there. I hope you know this, that everybody that I do a major deal with in my business, it's done on a handshake. If I can't do it on a handshake, then I'm not going to do it with a contract, because a contract can be broken. And the thing is this, if you have somebody that has broken beliefs already, then it's only going to cause chaos for you anyways. Either you have a mission and a passion to help people, or you only have a mission and a passion to help yourself. I teach about self-love. I don't teach about selfishness. I teach about being selfish enough to give yourself what you need to fill yourself up, to become the light for your family. And I'll tell you something right now. I challenge everybody out there. I don't care how expensive your filtration units are. I don't care how much science somebody put behind it. But I'll come up against it with any of these structure units. I wouldn't have done that 8 years ago. I wouldn't have touched them because I was really worried about my reputation. Clayton will tell you I flew down there and did a whole video series with him because I wanted to put them on video and I wanted to really research it. And I was down there for a few days. And this is after I actually researched him for 2 years. So understand something. I didn't just jump at this thing, okay? Because myself, I was brainwashed too. Brainwashed that nothing could be this amazing. Well, guess what? Miracles happen in front of our eyes all the time. You are a miracle. Think about this. You are eternal. You are eternal. I know I'm going off topic right now, but I was just thinking about something today. And I was thinking about how we love to talk about death. They died. Death, this, death, that. Nobody dies. There is no death. That's just a physical thing. But that's not what matters. But then what I was thinking about when I was coming on the show today is this. How much life is in your water? Okay? Because you're 70% water. Did you get that? Your body's 70% water. So are you made out of distilled water, which has no frequency that we can talk of? It actually vibrates below zero, which means it's pulling you down. If it's reverse osmosis, same type of thing. If it's carbon filtered, well, you're probably getting a lot of the physical things out, but you didn't change the structure of it. And I'll tell you something, now you've got a carbon addiction. Okay, so the next thing is that what? Then you might have an electron charging unit, right? Like a Kangen. Well, you know what? Yeah, it makes antioxidant water, but we all know that a high alkaline water is not good for anybody unless you have cancer, and then it's a desperate situation, isn't it? Okay, so we want a normal pH. I mean, to get a good alkalinity is all about emotional and about drinking enough water and structured water, because who really cares if the water doesn't get into the cells? If it doesn't penetrate deep. Your thoughts, Clayton?
Well, you're right on. Having water that is instantaneously available to your cellular level, this is huge. Your body, a 35-year-old man or woman, to be hydrated every day. The amount of electricity their body puts out, if you could convert it to electricity, usable electricity, you could light your house up for a month. So what happens if you're using structured water? Structured water allows for instant hydration. All that energy now can be used to rejuvenate, to bring back your cellular level, bring back your energy, bring back your all the things that have been compromised by bad water, bad food, bad air in your lifetime. So this is an answer. This is a solution to the pollution that we're all facing. We're all facing this. We're facing it in the sky. We're facing it in our water. We're facing it in our food. We're facing it in the air we breathe. When you talk about carbon, the carbon structure in the atmosphere is extremely harmful. It creates acid. Carbon is acidic. So that extreme acidity is causing major conditions with the food that farmers are trying to grow all around the world. It's a problem. And we're at a stage of the game right now. Humanity is at the stage of the game where we, as humans, need to be part of the solution. We can no longer look at things and throw chemicals at them in order to correct the situation. So this is a technology that is a win-win-win across the board.
Yeah, it's like this. We're like the small guys. Thank God for webinar shows where we can get on, and as long as we're there, we put on the show. It's just the cost of putting it on, and we can reach people. If it wasn't for something like this, I don't know. I really, it really scares me to see the tsunami that's coming. I know people don't really want to believe this, but nobody cares about you or your family. Not when it comes to corporations or, large systems. And you need to get that. And you need to know that they're all sucker punching you. You'll find a little bit of truth mixed in with a lot of lies. And when you think about that, we've been created by that which created the universe. We're self-healing mechanisms that we will heal. And when you take a look at how 8 out of every 10 people are not healing, but they're getting sicker, that's 80% of the population. You know that you've been lied to by mankind, and it's not going to stop. Either you're going to break away and take responsibility, or it's not going to be good. I'm going to tell you about, I just got a testimonial, Clayton, by a gentleman named Rod Eddington. So I just want to say his name because he's real, and he just gave it to me yesterday. He had to call me up. And he's a farmer, Clayton, and they grow corn. And are you ready for this? So they put your structured water units on, and they were getting, for a certain amount of area, they would get 100 bushels, right? Guess what they got this year?
Probably 130, 150.
150 bushels.
Right.
So now he's looking to double up or triple up on the structured water. He said he had some kind of idea to do some kind of loop or something. I don't know what he was talking about. I have it on my phone. I was going to cut it, splice it, and play it, but I'll play it another time. He's over the moon excited. He says he's never seen anything like that in his life. So we have a caller. So let's see what the caller's got to say.
Hello there, Dr. Wolfe.
Hi, caller.
Yes.
How are you?
Hey, I was listening to an old recording of what you call it, one of your interviews.
Yeah.
You talking about putting structured water in the car engine and the reservoir of the radiator?
Yes, sir.
Now, how long is that going to last there in the radiator structured? Do you have to structure it every day, or is it going to last a while? Or
first of all, let me just tell you the things that are really like out there. I'll let Clayton talk about that, but it's real. Clayton, you want to take it?
Sure. It lasts for a long time. Though there are people now selling an 8-ounce bottle of structured water in service stations, basically, and they recommend that you add that bottle or half that bottle every other time that you fill up the gas. But of course, they're selling structured water. Now, how long it lasts? It can last for a significantly long time. The actual time for each individual and each vehicle, I can't tell you exactly. I mean, this is something that you have to experience. And like I say, if you add a little bit of water, structured water, every other time you fill up with gas, you'll experience a significant change in the health of your vehicle. Now you have to remember. You have to remember this: if you have a computer, which if your car is less than 25 years old, you have a computer system, and that computer system is going to take back any mileage that structured water gives you. It's going to take it back because that's what computers do. They take anything that's a variant or anything that's causing an error, and it would see an increase in gas mileage as an error, and it would take that back. But
well, Nick, I want to tell you that video that Dr. Wolfe did helped me understand it better than any of the videos you have made this far, including that one with the giggly girl and the wine. Remember that video you made?
Okay.
Right, that video where Dr. Wolfe's sitting in front of some stage, and he's talking about structured water and how he didn't want to mess with it. He thought that you was a quack, and then he said that's everything he said. It's like it resonated with me there, Nick, because that's how I felt from the beginning. Like, this is too good to be true. But I bought your structured water unit from Dr. Wolfe, and my, I'm enjoying the structured water. I tell you.
Have you tried to breathe through it yet? Try that.
I did I did one time, but I was in a rush, didn't really sit down, focus, pay
Sure.
attention.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I didn't notice anything different, but maybe I try it again another time. But it would be great though. Before I let you go there, Nick, you could tell us more tips on things we could do, like put the water in a container so I could take it with me to restaurants when I'm at McDonald's, right? And I
Yes.
could structure my Coca-Cola, right?
Yes,
Hmm.
Would that work?
you can do that. You can do that several ways. Probably the most convenient way is to carry a portable with you and just run some water through it into your glass or onto your salad or the other thing is to put structured water in a spray bottle, and everything that you spray with that water you'll change. You'll change it to the level of the water that is in that spray bottle, no matter how big the container of water is. So if you're having a mixed
Okay.
drink, or if you're having a beer or a glass of wine, what I recommend you do is you take a sip of the wine or a sip of the beer, or even a sip of your water, and then spray the top of it with structured water, and then and then ex, and explore the difference. I mean, it is in so many things that we eat and drink. Structuring brings about a more a more balanced flavor, a more just a greater feeling of the excitement of the food that we're eating and drinking.
But you can also spray.
Some,
You could also spray like a doorknob. You could spray something you don't want to touch, or something that you think might have some contamination on it. And we're talking about just water here, so we're not talking about some heavy duty chemical and a bunch of money that you have to spend. But understand something: people can't wrap their heads around this because they believe it's got to be something corrosive, or it's got to be something acidic, or it's got to cost money. And they if you there are 1,001 things to do with structured water, isn't there, Clayton? You
Right,
could just sit
right,
here and
exactly.
make them up all day.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. So when we talk about
well,
farmers, like lawnmowers and smaller tractors, they don't have the computer system. I mean, they get a significant increase in gas mileage, and across the board, virtually everywhere that you go with this, it changes the environment that it's in.
that's right.
well, I have a testimonial about structured water. Can I tell you about it?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, I've been doing these things called coffee enemas with organic coffee from Costco, and I have tried these for many times. Okay, I'm going to just be real with you, and I cannot hold the enema. It's like almost I get it in, and I don't even have that much in. Okay, you following me?
Yeah.
I get it in, and it's like I got to evacuate now. And as I'm getting up off the floor, it's squirting out on the walls. Like, oh no, hurry, get on the toilet. And it's coming out. But for the first time, I'm going to tell you this, Nick. I put the structured water in the coffee enema batch. I boiled the water. I sifted out my coffee grains and put it in the enema bucket, whatever you want to call it. And I lubricated it there with the coconut oil, and I could not believe this. Guess what, Nick? The structured water, I almost got the whole thing in there, and I held that thing for like 15 minutes like you're supposed to do from according to Charlotte Gerson, right?
Well,
So I think this must be onto something about this structured stuff, because it didn't, I normally it's wanting to come out, and I couldn't even hardly get much in there. This time, I almost got half of the whole thing and held it for, that's like a record breaker there for me.
okay, so let's think about this. It's structured water, which means it has the lowest surface tension. Okay, it has the lowest surface tension of all water, which means that you were absorbing it much better into the colon, and it was actually activating your liver. And instead of just creating and building up pressure, see, if the coffee sits in the colon and it can't move through the colon walls, and it can't activate the liver, then what happens is it's going to stir up things and loosen things up, and that's going to create gas, and it's actually the gas that wants to push it out. But because the water has a low surface tension, its absorption is just been increased by tenfold. And the other thing is that that's the best cup of coffee your colon has drank in a long time.
Well, I'll tell you what there, Doc. I couldn't get to sleep that night. I tell you, I had the hardest time getting to sleep. I think I had to take melatonin or something just to get disease.
But that's because it's structured water. You wanted it delivered. Well, you delivered it FedEx. So what you need to do is just do it earlier in the day and then utilize that extra energy that's been created, because it wasn't from the caffeine, and understand that. It was done. Remember something. Anytime that you have a really good dump, okay, now I'm not talking about a fecal dump. I'm talking about a liver dump where your liver actually dumps bile and it dumps the toxins out. Right away, the energy comes up. And that's why we do these coffee enemas. So you weren't used to the extra energy. It wasn't the caffeine. It was the extra energy because you actually delivered the proper enema. And I've been telling people to do coffee enemas. You don't want to do coffee enemas without structured water. And I'll tell you something else. When you go to do the beans and you do the boiling, if you were to put in just a teaspoon of our black gold powder and mix it in there as well, our black gold humic powder is going to grab a lot of that acidic chemical that's dumped by the liver, and it's also going to help to feed 60 nutrients to your good bacteria. And everybody thinks that it's good bacteria you should take, when actually the humic fulvic powder and like our tummy love, if you change the terrain, the native bacteria is what makes you well, not all the ones you take in capsules and you swallow. They can be helpful to a point, but again, that's just a marketing ploy, because your inner terrain of the human body dictates everything. And that's why when it comes to structured water and inner terrain, it can change the inner terrain in the body faster than any other known liquid. I don't care if you're spending $100 on something to take in your body, it's still not going to work if it's not structured. So I tell everyone, no matter what nutritional you buy, you better spray into that liquid nutritional, or you better structure that liquid nutritional, because now you're going to get a real bang for your dollar.
Now I have to agree with you there, Doc, because that structured water stuff is making me feel good. I mean, I'm drinking more water, and I enjoy drinking the water. It tastes creamy. Well, I don't have a taste, but it feels creamy, kind of like Evian. I was telling Abby on the last call that tastes making me feel like I'm drinking expensive designer water there, Doc.
Well,
and I did one more thing there, Nick Nolte. I took what you did, and I put water in the portable structure unit. I shook it up and down, back and forth about 10, 20 times. And then I drank it just to test you. And you know what, Nick? Man, if you was there, I'd be upset with you because I got the runs.
Well, I told you. You got to be.
So that's when I really became a believer in the structured units, because when I superstructured my water, and then that's the best laxative I ever had. I don't need to take no magnesium citrate. I just got to get my Nick Nolte structured water unit, shake it up on down, and just drink it away. I can't wait to try this on some family members that are locked up. You know, it's going to really get them regular really fast.
Well, thank you, caller.
Yes, appreciate that. Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Have a beautiful day, sir. Thank you. We have another caller.
Hello.
Thank for your patience.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
I just have, lovely. I just have one testimonial and one question.
Mm-hmm.
My testimonial is I do use my structured water unit for everything, for my plants, for myself, my dog, everything, and my shower unit. What I really love, which I don't think anyone's mentioned yet, is when I do my washing, when I wash the clothes, I structure the final rinse water and it must seem to dissolve the detergent, whatever. But when I hang the clothes out on the clothesline, they are really soft, and then once they're dry, there's absolutely no wrinkles in them. I can just bring them in, hang them up, and there's no ironing whatsoever. So that is one thing I do. Every time I do a load of washing in the automatic washing machine, I structure the final rinse. And the other question I have is I use the structured water for my coffee every morning and my tea, just to make my husband's cup of coffee before he goes to work. Is it okay to put it in an electric kettle, or is it best to boil it on the stove in a saucepan? Does it make any difference if you put electricity through it?
No, it's fine. If you're using structured water in your electric teapot, when the teapot is on, the electricity is on, it suspends the structuring. So basically, what will happen in that time frame is it may make the calcium in the water hard, so that calcium adheres to the sidewalls of your teapot. So so when you shut the
Oh,
electricity off, the structuring is back. It returns back on into the water. So it's okay to structure it and put it in a teapot. It's just it's just the reason I say this is so that you'll realize that the teapot will eventually build up with calcium. In other words, it'll get caked with a scale of calcium inside of the teapot because of the electricity. So this is something for you to realize that the electrical component of your home, whether it be Wi-Fi, whether it be microwave, whatever it is, all these components are making the water within you hard. It's another reason for using structured water, because wherever structured water is, it makes that hardness, it dissolves that hardness. It dissolves the scale in your pipes. It dissolves the scale in your pipes also. So this is a win-win across the board. Everywhere you go with structuring, it brings about a more, let's say, a more divine flow.
Yeah, structured water
very
creates what we
good.
call free energy. You know, everything is about free energy today. Well, that's what structured water creates. It creates free energy. Once you own a structure unit, it will create energy within the water, which creates energy within you so that you can uptake your nutrition, so that you can let go of the toxins. But also, we have hundreds of testimonials of families that have been at each other for years, and when they start drinking structured water, they notice how even the emotional part of their life becomes more structured and not so jagged.
Mm, lovely, lovely.
Yeah.
And when you were saying the last man before, he was talking about putting it through the structure unit and shaking it. Is it so that means each time you put it through the structure unit, it actually energizes it more, or is it still okay to do it once, or are you better off to do it 4 or 5 times?
Yes, so what it's doing is it's adding biophoton energy, or or if you want to look this up, it would be bioenergy or chi energy.
Mm.
Basically, it's increasing the energy that goes in that supports your cellular structure and aids in the communication of your meridians for the communication of your brain to every aspect and every cell in your body, which is chi energy.
Mm.
Um, so if when people do martial arts, they're basically raising the energy in their body called chi. So Tai Chi,
Uh-huh.
Kung Chi, all these Chi, this is actually a Chinese term for raising the energy in your cellular structure, and so this is what
Mm.
structured water does, is it raises the Chi energy in the water. And so the longer the time the water has in a structuring event, the more Chi energy that it gives the water. We measure that energy as biophoton energy. Bio meaning life, photon being light, living light. And so
Oh.
every time, say, like if we multiple structure, And that's what the gentleman was talking about. He was multiply structuring it maybe 20 times. If he was shaking it up and down, he was actually structuring it 40 times, like 40 times through the structuring unit. And so to do that, you would place your finger over the bottom, over the small end, and fill the vessel or the structuring unit partially full of water, 3/4 of the way, half full. You can place the palm of your hand over the top and just shake it up and down. So every time up and every time down is equivalent to a pass through. If you want to do it more, or let's say a lot more, you can take a wine cork and put it into the funnel side of the unit up in the top and push it down about halfway. It'll fit in there perfectly. Then you turn it upside down, holding your finger over the small outlet bottom, and just shake it up and down. I'm going to say this. In approximately 1 minute of shaking, vigorously shaking up and down, you will increase, let's say, the biophoton energy or the chi energy of the water, equivalent to around 150 passes through the port. Now,
Wow,
realize this.
that's amazing.
This energy is let's say it is pure energy, and excessive energy in many people's systems will cause them to detox. Like he said, he spent time in the bathroom because he activated the water and raised the energy of the water to a point that it caused him to detox quickly. This is something, it's not a bad thing, but it is something that you need to realize. If you're going to do this, you want to start slow. You want to maybe run the water through a dozen times. These systems are designed to bring an optimal structure to your body. In other words, to gradually cause your body to detox in a way that you don't have to sit in the bathroom. You understand where I'm going here? So if you want to quicken the aspect of detoxing, then you can multiply structure. But I'm just giving you this clear evidence that it may cause you to go to be close to the bathroom for a day or so. And
Another thing I have noticed, excuse me, I've been using my structure unit now for 6 months, and I'm noticing my hair isn't growing as grey. Like I'm almost 60, and I had salt and pepper grey before, and now I'm noticing the regrowth is a lot darker and a lot less grey hair.
beautiful.
So that's wonderful too.
I love to hear those stories. I really do. It's just exciting because this is what you're speaking of is a potential for everybody out there. The however is the majority of people are caught up in, let's say, life. They're caught up in the fears, the doubts, the stuff of their life. This is what Daryl has been talking about. This is what he preaches about, if we're going to call him a preacher. Anyway, it is about, a lot of people are caught up in that space of the stuff of their life, the things that didn't work for them, or the fears or the doubts. All these things cause a delay in the truth of you. So if you can see this technology for what it is, see it, and as you're pouring water or utilizing it, add your blessing, add your intention. This goes a really, really long ways. So structuring and multiple structuring is what I call a quickening. It quickens the activity of your cellular structure to potentially uh, to reactivate your DNA and your RNA. It's that simple.
Just one other quick question, Clayton. Sorry, before I go. I'm running late for work actually, but I'll just ask you one more question. When I use my portable structure unit, I usually filter 3 1 litre bottles of water. I think that's 1 quart in your measurement. So I do the 3 bottles of water in a glass jug, and I sit them on the bench. And I've noticed if I don't drink them straight away and they sit there for maybe 2 days, I notice on the inside of the glass jug is small bubbles. It sort of looks like it may be starting to ferment. Is that because it's got no chlorine in it, or is that just the process of it bubbling inside, or is it fermenting, and is it better for you, or should I restructure it before I drink it?
The small bubbles are free oxygen. So when you so the inside of the container will start. You'll see small bubbles, and these bubbles are when you structure water, you're releasing all the free oxygen in the water, and the free oxygen goes to the outer edge, and it becomes visible. So it's just oxygen. It's good for you.
Lovely. Very good. Well, thank you so much. And I do have to go. And I listen to your show all the time, and I really appreciate all the technology, and it's just amazing. And thank you to Daryl. I love your show.
Well,
thank you very much. Bye.
Have a beautiful day. We have another
Thank
caller?
you.
No, we're not.
Okay. All right. So it's like this. Just think this. This thing is like harnessed energy. But just remember something. For every time you shake it back and forth, you're creating more energy. You got to make sure that your body can handle that. Because the higher vibration that you create in the water. Okay, so let's put it this way. When you structure water and you structure it once, it's very rare that you're going to get a cleansing reaction. Because it's got the lowest surface tension. It's going to deliver all your nutrition. It's going to get rid of the toxins in the body. But when you want water that's on a mission, you're going to shake it back and forth. But understand something. If you haven't been detoxifying and you raise the vibration way up this high, then everything that's below it must be pushed out. If I only structure it once, I raise it up this high just to the point of getting my nutrition in and getting the toxins out to create harmony. But if you're going to keep shaking it back and forth, you're bringing it up this high, which means everything that vibrates lower is going to get kicked out. And that's why you can have bun on the run. Okay? All right. What do you think, Clayton?
Right on. Spot on.
Yeah. So, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing this. And you know what? But you want to work your way up. And then if you really get doing, like, if you look at my website at docofdetoxlibrary.com, look at the perfect day. Start doing that for a while. Bring your vibration up. And then unharness the power of the structure unit. Okay? And sometimes people even say that I structured it so much I have a bit of a headache. You have to understand something. Structured water, okay, yes, it's physical. You can taste it. You can feel it when you drink it. But we're missing the point. The biggest part of structured water is what you don't see. The healing part is what you don't see. The biggest part is what you don't see. It's what it isn't that's healing you. It's not, sure, it doesn't have the toxins in it, and it doesn't have the surface tension, but it's the new frequencies that you put in that you can't see with your eye, but you can definitely feel with your body. Clayton, could you help me on this?
Absolutely. That's the best I can say. Absolutely. You're spot on. This is what, all the things that you would eat and drink what structured water does is it enhances them. It takes it makes available everything that's good for life, and it neutralizes or energetically eliminates everything that's bad for life. So, so again, I say this: at your cellular level, your cells can only receive energy in the form of a frequency, and that frequency actually is in the form of ions. Those ions are carried to every cell in your body on a water molecule. If your body is not able to 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 um, to digest the water you're drinking, then there's limited carriers or limited water to be able to carry to every cell in your body the energy of the food you're eating and drinking.
And
Structured water makes that instantaneous. All the energy of all the food you eat with structured water is instantaneous hydration and also instantaneous nutrient density for every cell in your body.
And there's a lot of people out there going, "What are you talking about digesting water?"
Right.
Well, did you never feel like when you drank water, it felt like it was heavy, like a lead cake in your stomach? Did you never feel bloated after drinking water? Did you never like burp up and feel like you had to burp? Well, that was you. You couldn't even digest the water you took in. And whether you want to believe this or not, it's feasibly impossible that you can even digest distilled water or reverse osmosis. And meanwhile, all these water specialists are telling you that you should do that to detox. And they got that from Norman Walker. Does anybody know when Norman Walker was alive 75 years ago? And that when he was Norman Walker was juicing every day. And he was juicing like 2 or 3 quarts of fresh vegetable organic juices. And then he would use distilled water. Well, for one thing, those 2 or 3 quarts of vegetable juice that he was getting were structured juice, because nature's juice is structured. So even though he was doing distilled water, and in his head he said, wow, if I use distilled water, it's totally empty. It'll go in there like a sponge and it'll pick up all the toxins that come into the water. That is such a crock. People still in the health field still believe this, that when you do a fast, do distilled water. Well, why wouldn't you want to do water that has low surface tension and that is going to detoxify you easier? I can remember when I used to do cleanses with distilled water, we'd go down to the store, buy distilled water, get it in a plastic jug. The stuff tastes terrible, tastes dead. And then we would drink it. It would lay heavy. And none of it made any sense. What I'm trying to tell you here is, guess what? We'll believe anything, we'll drink anything, and we'll eat anything, because we do not honor and love and respect our body enough to invest in the research. Investigate, invest. You see, the word is right in there. So, you need to challenge Clayton. You need to challenge me and Clayton. This is why we have this show. We're coming out in the open here. Okay, but you need to challenge yourself even more, because only you can heal. Only you can heal yourself.
There you go.
Yes.
So one more thing about water. If your body can't digest the water you're consuming, or another word would be metabolize the water you're consuming, guess what? Your body, needing water and knowing it needs water, it's going to store that water. And in what form does it store it? As fat.
Isn't that amazing? That you actually gain fat cells because you couldn't digest your water. Oh my gosh. Who would have even thought that something right under our nose could be the culprit? And that is the hugest thing. You get anybody drinking structured water that has a weight problem, they're going to start dropping it. That's it. We already know that. And okay, did you ever take a look around, guys? We've entered the puffball syndrome. Most people hardly have jaws or or any cheekbones. They're like, everybody's like this puffball, you know? And this is the thing I got to tell you too. I know this is a water show, but this should not run off your back like water. Did you ever notice that now they're starting to get people to, they used to have people do commercials that were only in amazing shape, amazing health. And now the people that are doing the commercials are all in terrible shape. Not all of them, but a lot. I bet I was watching TV when I was traveling the other day, and I was actually seeing commercials where like this guy had like he had like a like a mid-ridge bulge, and it was like bulging and hanging over. And do you know why? Because corporations are trying to get you ready for the new generation. Did you know that 90% of the 80 to 90% of the population in 10 years is going to be 20 to 40 pounds overweight? So that means that people like myself are going to be the minority. Okay? I hope we don't go to jail or anything. But anyways, you have to understand. Listen, I am not knocking anybody, but guess what? You're talking about all of you. You're going to have autoimmune disease, cancer, you're pre-diabetic, and guess what are you telling your children? Did you know that right now it's estimated that your children, if your children are 12 or 13 years old right now, that they will live 15 years less than than you, the parents, okay? All right? And 10% of the children right now in high school are obese. So guess what? Do you notice how comfortable we're getting about obesity? There's actually there's a store that just opened up in our mall, okay? And they're celebrating large women. Now listen, I have no problem with large women. They're beautiful. But they're unhealthy. And you know what? We are going to sucker punch them and say, you know what, stand up for your rights. Even though you're 100 pounds overweight, you're beautiful. Don't let anybody put you down. You know, beautiful, big is beautiful. Okay, all right. So I'm just trying to make a point here. Between going to Costco and all these other places, lugging the water home, to now being like 20, 40, 50, 60, 70 pounds overweight is beautiful. Meanwhile, it's heart disease, diabetes. I don't know what we're going to do to pull this back. I don't think we're going to be able to. And this is what I told you at the beginning of the show, is that there's a psycho elite that are controlling the planet, and they're just brainwashing everyone. So, you know, if you don't want to brainwash yourself, someone else is going to do it. And if you want to brainwash yourself, nothing does better than structured water, right, Clayton?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's turn this around. Let's as you step out there in the world. And one thing I want to remind you of this: structured water has what we call a field effect. When Edmonton in the farm, in his 150 bushels of corn,
Yes.
basically where he structures his water, that structured water energy, again, that biophoton energy or chi energy, is reaching out, and it's affecting a larger area than where the water is actually. So with that chi energy, or that biophoton energy, also called the field effect of structured water, is reaching out 1,000 feet in all directions from the original watered area.
Well, Clayton, just so you know that the next time we do a show together, I'll splice it. It's on my phone right here. And I'll splice it, and guess what? His neighbor I think he said his neighbor got an extra 20 bushels, and he didn't even use the structured water. So he actually commented on that. And I actually have it live on an audio. So I will cut and splice that, and we will play it live for people so that they understand.
Right.
Yeah.
So the additional thing I wanted to add here, as per our conversation, as people engage in structured water, as they're going to work, they are actually creating an effect on the people that they're working with, or within their home. And Daryl spoke about this just briefly, about people being more family oriented, when you drink structured water, people start relaxing. Their tension goes away. Their that aspect of being stressed. Their stress falls away.
Yeah,
And
the structured water opens them up, eh, Clayton?
yes, it does, absolutely.
Yeah.
So again, this field effect is you. You become the source of the energy field of structuring, and you're changing everybody that passes by you or you pass by.
Yeah, it's called the ripple effect. You know what? It's like a smile in a bottle, okay? So, if you keep going to the same place all the time and you're smiling and you walk into some place, people will actually can't wait until you come by with your smile. And just remember, if you're a miserable person, a lot of people practice that. They can't wait until you don't come by. So, water works like that too. So, water has a vibration. Everything has a vibration on this planet. If everybody could just get that, everything has a vibration. The food you eat, okay, the water you drink, the people you hang around with, okay, the shows you watch, the things you read, the things that come out of your mouth, the things that go into your mouth. And all of that comes together in what we call the master frequency. So at the end of your day, take a look at what you took in, what you gave out, and that will come to a frequency of dis-ease or ease, okay? That will come to a high frequency or a lower frequency.
There you go.
There you go. Is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience before we go, Clayton?
I would just say this, for those of you who are questioning, I'm sure Daryl hasn't spoken of this today, but he does have a money-back guarantee. This is an opportunity for each and every one of you to take into your life a product that can potentially change your life significantly. So there's, this is significant, the ability to take something that can make you feel better, make you less irritable or happier or more joyful, and less painful, basically from my field of study, pain is dehydration. So as we are hydrated, pain is no longer present in our body. Think about that.
Pain is just inflammation out of control.
Right.
And it's a fire in your body. And, any type of fire, you're going to take water to it. You might as well take water that has low surface tension, and it's going to spread out more. And it's going to do its job, what it was meant to do.
Right on.
And that was to detox and nourish. So everybody out there, so this is a structured unit. If this is your first time on, the tap water goes through here, and it comes through here. The tap water will come in, and the fast as the water goes in, it comes out. Okay? And you can pour anything through this. All right? And if you have like stress or anxiety, you can breathe through this. And I know you don't want to believe it, but the next time that you start to get stress, anxiety, or you start to feel like anger or frustration, just do it and breathe through it 3 to 6 times and then tell me it doesn't work. Because it will help to structure you. It'll calm you down. It'll realign you, bring coherence back into you. And here is, this is a structured shower head. You won't see these on our website, but if you do want one, you can call us up and you can order one from us. We carry one everywhere we go. Every hotel we stay in, we put this on. We have another caller. I'll get to that in a second. So this is a great shower head. You won't find it on the website, but this is another invention from Clayton, and we'd love to sell it to you. And here's a shower head. that if you want to put your own shower head on this end, you would do it. Or if you want to use one that is a handheld, you would use this. And then we have them for the home. We have them for industrial. Look at it. What can I say? It's limitless on what you can do because water is so important to us. Anyways, we have a caller.
Hi, Dr. Wolfe. I
Hi.
just wanted to ask this about structured water. So if you were going to have a cheat day and like say go to your favorite restaurant, right? Would you be able to take the structured water unit and just drink the structured water with the meal and help minimize some of the damage from the toxins from the food?
Clayton, you want to answer that? And
Absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, you can do it by actually physically taking your portable in with you. You can, you know, and I just want to say this: we've been doing a lot of research through universities, and recently we did a university in Pakistan. This is a government university, and they did a test with a portable, and they were dripping water through it, one drop at a time. And all the things that we talked about, all the changes that structured water bring, one drop at a time, that water took on all the attributes that we've claimed or that we've put out. So so in a restaurant, you can take a teaspoon of water from a drink glass, a glass with ice in it, 1 teaspoon, and put it in the top of the portable and let it drip through. Everywhere that water goes, if you hold your finger under it, you know, and you let one drop go into your coffee or your tea or your tequila, I mean, it changes the structure of everything that comes in contact with. You can drip it over your salad. And what I recommend is you taste your food before you add the structuring, and you will notice the marked difference.
Is it better if we spray it, Clayton? Like I
Yes.
take a small spray bottle. It's just a tiny little one like this. There's only like 2 ounces in it.
Right, right. Spray your food. I mean, this is an easy access to guaranteeing that everything that you consume in a restaurant is healthy. Now, you know, the other thing from everywhere that you get your food, whether it be a restaurant or a grocery store or anywhere, I mean, think about this. The food that you are about to consume, who handled it? Who prepared it? Were they happy? Were they angry? Were they suicidal? I mean, basically, the energy of every person is in the food, is caught up and is stored in the food that you're about to eat.
So would it be safe to say that it's similar to grounding? You know, like spray
Same
your
thing,
food with.
identical. That's what this does.
So
Is it brings the
so if you
food
spray
to
the
a
top of the
grounded state,
hamburger,
present state.
okay.
Yes,
If you spray the top of the hamburger, the bun, and it's not the water doesn't touch the lettuce or the meat, right?
right,
It structures the whole piece of food.
right. In fact, I just spoke with a restaurant recently who put structured water into their food processing, not only the food processing, but their washing of dishes. And they found that a dish washed with structured water uh, uh, causes the food that's on it to be changed. Now,
Cool.
now, what I would recommend here is, for people to explore this. You know, I mean, we have in my kitchen, I have a unit on a fan, a structured unit on a fan, and whenever we pour a glass of wine, we just pass the glass over top of that unit, and the air changes. The structured air changes the wine in the glass. Try it. Just take your unit.
Okay.
The next time you open a glass of wine, you can spray the top of the wine, yes, but you can also spray the glass. And or you can take
So
your
that
unit and blow air through the unit onto that glass, and it'll change the wine in that glass.
you remember the days of Lewis and Clark when they would drink out of rivers, right?
Okay.
They would have people upstream, so to speak, bathing in the water, and who knows what else they're doing, right?
Right.
So that water would travel down the same river, and then families down the river would take buckets and drink out of that, or make use the water for stew or soup or whatever, right?
Right.
So that it's starting to make more sense to me, because if the water is structured, then and it keeps the toxins from sticking to you, then it would keep the endotoxins from the water upstream. If someone were to have defecated in the river, like a child, right? It would keep it from sticking to the people downstream who would be using it for cooking.
Right.
Am I getting this right?
Yes, I have testimonies from people who are testing my theory. They're traveling around the world, drinking water from the Ganges that there's dead bodies floating in. So, and they're structuring the water. And I just remind people, when you're going to start, say like you go to Mexico, structure your water, and be sure you structure the water you're going to brush your teeth in also, because it's just that level of toxicity, that level of pathogens in the water is significantly high some places in the world. So this is a tool to aid people who are traveling. And I recommend, if you're traveling, you take a portable unit and a shower head. And actually 2 shower units. One, the mini shower, which can attach to a hose, or if there's a wand in the shower that you're visiting, you can attach the mini shower onto it. If you have a shower head, you can unscrew the shower head and put the shower head on there, and or the mini shower in some cases. The combinations of those 3 units, people traveling all over the world drink and bathe in the tap water, in the river water. It doesn't matter what the condition is. So back when Haiti had the big issue, the tap water used to be laden with cholera, and we sent units to people that were with the United Nations, allowing them to work in that environment without harm. Now, I would have given this technology to the United Nations in my time. But the reason that it didn't happen is because governments, cities, and virtually all government, has advisors that are chemists. Nobody knows anything about water, so they have chemistry or chemists on their advisory boards. And chemists, their whole world is the physical world. Structured water structuring is energy. It's an energy world. It's physics. And for a chemist,
Fascinating.
this technology is impossible. The majority of technology out there, the majority of technologists This technology is impossible. So here we are. Daryl and I are relating to you all a potential that that is deemed uh, um, impossible.
But we're honoring the frequency part of you, not the chemistry part of you.
Right, exactly.
I think we lost him.
Okay. Very good. So there you have it. A lot of people won't be able to wrap their head around it, Clayton, the whole frequency thing.
Right, right.
Because it's hard. I understand. You get up in the morning and you see somebody in the mirror.
Yeah.
You don't see a bright light. So.
But this is an opportunity for everybody out there to take this into their own hands and explore with it. What does it mean to you? I have hundreds, if not thousands, of families across the world who have changed their lives, their children's lives, their lives. And this is, this is what I'm here to do.
Well,
I'm
you're
here
doing it.
to aid in educating you, to bring you to a place of agreement that this is even possible, and then take you beyond that point.
Yeah, people find it hard for something to be that simple, though, Clayton. They find it that hard that, you have to eradicate everything. Like our society today, it's all about attack. It's all about destroy. It's all about eliminate. It's not about, let's just change the frequency of that, right?
Right.
No, we have to attack something. Well, it's no, we don't.
Cut it off.
We have to bring the vibration up. We have to bring the vibration up.
We have to cut it out.
Yeah, that's right. So I want everybody to understand that, like Clayton was saying, is that we give a money back guarantee. It's 90 days. That's enough time you'll know it in the first day. You'll know it in the first usage, actually. Also, just so that we back it up and we show you this, we also give you a $50 gift certificate that you can use to buy anything else in the Doc of Detox store when you purchase any of the units from us. Okay? And this is our gift to you. All right? So to get you started on your little cleansing adventure, because the whole thing is about adventure, isn't it, Clayton?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Life is an adventure, and like any adventure, sometimes it can be life-threatening, but at the end of the day, you want to be the hero that saves your life. So, we challenge you to really research this, investigate this, and that's the best thing. I find, Clayton, that the people that actually challenge us are our biggest supporters later, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's those skeptics, I call them, that really challenge me. When they come back a year later, they're the greatest. Like you were a skeptic. Yeah.
But I wanted to believe, okay?
Yes.
But I just didn't want to say it out loud.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
And it is difficult for an educated person to step across that boundary of impossible. Right?
Yeah, but today I look at it differently. Like everything in my life is about honoring the invisible before the physical. That's the way I live now. A lot of people say, they have to see it to believe it. Well, you can see it to believe it. But what happens in the miracle is actually invisible, isn't it, Clayton? It's not, really.
Right.
This is a unit that is called no action. What
Right.
do you do? Just pour the water. There's nothing that happens except what it does. It goes in and it vortexes itself in all directions at the same time. creating the frequency to change everything that's not good for you and enhance everything that is. I'd say that's a hell of a good relationship.
And simple.
Yeah, simple. Well, we're ready to close up here. Is there anything you'd like to leave everybody with before we have our next show?
No, I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity to express my views and to aid people to come into agreement with what more is possible. Remember that. This is something that my researchers, myself, we spent years developing this technology, and we kept asking what more is possible. What more is possible? My top researcher said to me one day, "Stop saying that. I don't have enough time. I can't keep up with the question and investigating the question. What more is possible?"
I think that's a really good thing to leave people with today. Everybody out there, I want you to not just think about this on the aspect of structured water. I want you to ask yourself on the aspect of loving yourself and all the relationships that you have. And also ask that about yourself with the job you have. Ask yourself what more is possible. Is this the job for me? Is this the relationship for me? Is there more possible for me? So understand something. Everything is limitless if you really want to open up your mind and open up your heart and understand what your true potential is. And never forget that. I think it's a wonderful statement. What more is possible? Everything. When you understand your everything. I want to thank Clayton Nolte for joining me today, but he'll be back in 2 weeks and we'll be having another amazing show. Thank you, Clayton.
Thank you, Daryl.
And before I go off the air, everybody, we will be doing St. Petersburg, Florida in October the 22nd. We'll be starting our whole life coach. We have 3 spots left. If you want to come, and then Wolfe Deep Tissue starts on the 29th. We have 3 spots left, and we also have 3 spots left for the Wolfe Nonsurgical, which is teaching you how to pull fibroids apart, actually work with tumors, and work with going in and breaking up the scar tissue in the pelvis, all in the organs and all the different in the organs in the abdomen. How to actually do an abdominal lift and putting the organs back into place, how to do a breast lift, how to work on fibroids, how to work on calcium deposits, how to do work on the face, and how to help to reverse somebody's hearing, their sinus problems, their TMJ problems, so that they don't have to wear those expensive mouth guards. It goes on and on. You can check that out at itioh.com. We're also doing courses in Australia, Adelaide. That'll be February the 1st to the 12th. It'll be Wolfe Deep Tissue starting, and then the non-surgical. This is at a 5-star hotel in Australia, and all the organic meals come with it. And you'll be staying in this beautiful 5-star hotel up in the hills in Adelaide. That's the 1st to the 12th, and we're going to be in Florida. We're going to be in St. Petersburg, and we're going to be staying at the Crystal Bay Hotel. And it's a beautiful, beautiful boutique hotel. This is going to be an amazing training. If you want to change your life, and if you've always wanted to be a practitioner, then come on and do it, because you can. You don't have to spend years and hundreds of thousands of dollars. Put me to the test on that. And then Kelowna, February the 24th to March 2nd, we're doing all 3 courses here. All right. And tomorrow is Braveheart Nation. And that's on at 3 p.m. Call me with your emotional questions and your nutritional questions, and put me to the test on that. I'm here to help you. And you know what? You deserve to be happy and healthy. And that's what I'm here to do. And tomorrow, the talk for Braveheart is the obsession with consumerism. But you know what? You can ask me anything under the sun. Wednesday, we have Dr. Marlene Siegel with Lessons Your Pets Can Teach You with Abby Michelle. She's the host. And then on Thursday, I'm doing an hour to an hour and a half. I'm going to show you how to get out of pain. From the tip of your nose to the bottom of your toes, we're going to do it. And bring on the questions, okay? And that's called A Pain-Free Body. If you'd like to get a half month of my daily cleansing tea free, call the office. We'll send it out. You just pay the shipping. Same thing with my best-selling book, Healthy to 100. We'll send you that out too. All you got to do is pay the shipping. Hey, let's get started. Let's get this party started, okay? And you can go to dockofdetoxlibrary.com, where you can go and get my free booklets and a couple of audios on how to start taking a look at yourself on an emotional level. All right? And you can also go there. We have a booklet there, complete booklet on our humic fulvic products and the structured water. dockofdetoxlibrary.com. Last but not least, go to dockofdetoxshow.com and watch today's show, or tell other people they can watch it tomorrow, the next day. Watch it at your leisure. All the shows I've done are going to be up there, okay? So put us to the test, and just remember, always be blessed. Have the best day of your life. Bye now.